Hey, what's going on, friends? My podcast every day is broken up into two parts on the free platform. The first part, Act 1, is right now. When it's all done, go right on over to Act 2 to get the second half of the podcast. Thank you so much for checking out my show. Hello, friends. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast. It's a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the Impact Power Sports Studio. Impact Power Sports. You can find them online at impactpowersportsmi.com. Great place to go to pick up a Yamaha golf cart. They're fantastic and on sale right now at Impact Power Sports. Not to mention side-by-sides, ATVs, UTVs, motorcycles, e-bikes, scooters, go-karts, snowmobiles, lawnmower. They do it all at Impact Power Sports. Thank you for checking them out and all of the sponsors. I made a horrific ass out of myself yesterday, and this will be no surprise. No surprise at all to any of you. It involves forgetting a name. But this one is special. This was a remarkable, catastrophic moment for me, and it just, talk about being screwed. Talk about screwing myself over. Have you ever had a moment when you've forgotten someone's name of someone who you've interacted with for a significant time? Like just a absurdly bad brain fart. Now, I will say that I was doing two things at once. One was PA announcing, speaking into a microphone to ones of people at a high school hockey game. And then the second one that I was doing was trying to think of the guy's name. Becca Shea says dementia. You know, you say that, but I've thought of that. That's, in a way, that's kind of not funny because, you know, it runs in my family. But anyway, that's kind of popped into my brain a few times that I might be my dad in due time. Anyway, I'm talking into the microphone and I'm introducing. I said, welcome to Griff's Georgetown, the home of a high school hockey. And there's two teams. The East Grand Rapids Pioneers are here. The Jenison Wildcats are here. All of you are here. Hello, everybody. My name is Eric Zane. I am your PA announcer. To my left is my partner in crime running the scoreboard and taking care of the music. And then I paused like that. Now, I've known this guy, Walt, since I started doing Griffin's hockey. He is the supervisor of off-ice officials, and the hockey community is very small. You show up to any one of the local rinks, you'll see various people that you might see at another rink. I see him all the time at Van Andel, and he also is a local ref, and he, might work for the various rinks, running the clock, shit like that. Rink rat. To my left, and then I'm like, what the fuck is his name? What is his name? And there's a pause of about 5 seconds. And then the officials, the refs, turn around. They're on the ice, on their skates. Game's getting ready to start. Getting ready to do the introductions. All I got to do is introduce Walt. I'm Eric Zane. I'm your PA announcer. To my left is... Players are getting ready for the introductions. I've led it up to... To my left is, and when I was saying is, I realized it's left my brain. This is the equivalent of somebody you see 4 times a week, every week, for 20 years, and you forget their names. That's exactly what happened. But I'm committed to it. I'm talking on the microphone. I am your PA announcer, Eric Zane, doing great. To my left is bum, bum, bum. Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm moment here. Not only are the refs looking at me now in the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds that have passed of me going, I look at Walt, and he's looking at me like this. And that's a look of someone who's like, it sounds like you've forgotten my name. Now, here's the problem. This microphone is super sensitive. So even though I move it away from me like that, the crowd hears me say, what's your name? What's your name? And he goes, and the crowd hears, Walt. And I go, Clark. Yes. I go, Walt Clark is here. Then, this is the equivalent of, fumbling the ball and then trying to pick it up and then fumbling it again. It's a nightmare. Now, I'm getting a positive reaction from the chat. There's a lot of comments like laughy emojis and shit like that, and at the time, I was so disgusted with myself. This is proof positive that if I have that, I'm so disgusted with myself, I will never speak of this. There's no reason to ever tell this moment because it's so goddamn embarrassing. I am not going to speak of this on the show. And truth be told, I was going to either start with one thing that I'm going to talk about or this story right here. So I'm so glad I started with this story because it seems like it's the jokes are landing. They're not really jokes. It's just what happened. Actually, I'm just telling you what happened. And that look on his face, that shocked that I had forgotten his fucking name. And, all right, ladies and gentlemen, please stand, remove your hats. For those that are active or retired military, you can keep your hats on while doing the military salute. Here's the national anthem. Walt hits a button. Music starts playing. I go, Walt, that was a brain fart. I don't know what to say. That was so bad. Now, the good thing is, he goes, what? He might be a couple bricks short of a full load, too. He goes, what? What are you talking about? I go, what do you mean, what am I talking about? It's 15 seconds ago. I forgot your name. And on the mic, I forgot your name. He goes, oh, yeah. It's like it didn't even resonate with him. Yeah, that was bad. Really, really bad. It turns out that exact location that I was in, because there's 2 rinks at this facility. There's 2 sheets of ice. And this one that I was at was the exact same place when my oldest daughter, Jacqueline, was about 10. And she wanted to sing the national anthem at the start of, my son's hockey game. And I go, well, do you know the words? She goes, yeah. And she did. She did know the words. But she sang it. And, to me, it was great because it's my daughter. And I'm sure it was fine. It's a kid. It's a 10-year-old kid. You got to have somebody singing. If a 10-year-old is going to sing who's not polished at the anthem, the local hockey game between the 2 Pee-wee teams is the perfect place to do it. You got to start small. So she sang the anthem. But a short time after that, Logan Belgraf told her it sucked. And Logan's a year or 2 older than Jacqueline. And he had a crush on her. He always had a crush on her. He's married now. He's about Jim's age. Played on Jim's hockey team. in later years. He wasn't playing this game. He was walking around the rink, and he told her it sucked, and she kicked him right in the dick. And so he ran to his dad, God rest his soul, Brian, and Dad, Jackie kicked me in the balls. And he's one of these dads who always said, well, what did you do? And then, like, he lied, nothing. And then he, like, got pissed off because he knew that Logan was lying to him. He goes, tell me what you did or else I'm going to kick you. He goes, I told Jackie she sucked. He goes, well, I'm glad she kicked. He was an old school dad. That's all. He goes, well, I'm glad she did it. You know, nowadays, the mom or the dad would go up to the child and punch the child like Jackie in the face. Jackie's has no stranger to rink stories. Red Bull Brain Chris says at that age, that was his way of saying that he liked her. Maureen says, good for her. Logan's a fucktard for saying that. This takes me back to New Jersey. I've told this story rarely, but my God, we had an encounter at a hockey rink with a Jersey mom, and, you know, you hear about the reputation of people from Jersey, and this is who they were talking about. I have more than one example of this. We are at the rink skating, the local rink in some community in Jersey. Forget the name of it. Tom's River, maybe. And, doing our thing, skating. And I noticed Jacqueline is gone. I'm curious, by the way, how many of you have heard this story? Because this goes way back when I told this story. Does this sound familiar to any of you? Please let me know. And so it's Jim, Jack, Mom, Dad, and baby Madison. You know, this is pre-DS case. This is about 2000. This is the either like November, December 2002, January, February 2003. I'm skating. Jim, Jack, Diana's with the baby. Now, she disappears. Jackie's gone. I don't know where she is, so I'm getting scared. They have several rooms set up where you can have parties, like off shot of the rink, so you can like have a birthday party for the kid and then skate, and that's happening. Well, being that she is, she was born in 97, so she's no more than 4 or 5. And she sees that there's a kid with a birthday party going on with she doesn't know him. All the kids' friends are there. So kid being a kid, she thinks, oh, I like birthday parties. I'm going to go make friends. She crashes the party. So she wanders into there, and she just looks like any other kid. And she makes friends, as Jackie does, with the birthday girl. And she's there for, several minutes while I'm looking for her making friends. And it's at about this time that the pizza is served. So I walk by, I look in the room, and then I pass the room, and I go, wait a minute, I think I just saw Jackie. I back up, I'm on my skates, I'm fucking can't even move on the, as I'm walking around on those rubber mats, and I go, Jacqueline, oh, hi, Dad. I go, honey, I apologize profusely to the first adult I see. I go, my daughter thinks she's supposed to be at this party. She's here making friends, and she was just served pizza. My apologies. We'll see ourselves out. Pardon me. That's it, right? That's where this story ends. It does not end that way. I guess the word traveled fast amongst the moms there, and somehow it got, I don't know why, but the mother of this kid who's celebrating the birthday, she comes after me. This is several minutes have passed, and I'm now on the ice, whatever, holding Jackie's hand, and this mom skates up. She goes, "Do you always do that?" I go, "What's up?" And she goes, "Do you always have your child go in there and get free food and do like a party? Is this something that you do? You think that's funny? You think that's an appropriate thing to do for a child's birthday party?" I go, No, I didn't do that. She found the party, made friends, and next thing you know, I found her and I got her out of there as quickly as possible. Was not having it. No matter what I said, she wanted to fight. She came there to pick a fight. My words bounce off her. Patrick says he remembers this story now. So it's very quickly now. I am now done trying to be diplomatic about this. So then I told her to fuck off. And she said, "Fuck off. You fuck off." I go, "No, you fuck off, bitch." And we're going. It's like, Ty Domi, Bob Probert. We finally separate. The husband comes out and it's like, let's go. He when the husband, if I'm calling her a bitch and he doesn't bat an eye and he just wants her out of there, he's on my side, but he's got a duty to somehow not take my side. I mean, he wants to kick her in the snatch, 100%. And he's pulling her away, but she's a psychopath. I was like, well, I do psychopath. I can accommodate you. And I'm considerably younger than. I'm 32 at this time. So imagine me times like 8 billion when it comes to reasoning. Gives me the money and I crumple them up in a ball and we're walking out and I throw it at her. And the money hits this bitch. And right away, the husband should be beating my ass here, but he didn't do shit. And she follows me out and there's people trying to pull her back. That chick wants to fight. I want to fight. Pooh Bear's trying to separate me from her. Her husband's it was incredible. This spilled outside into the parking lot. Oh, my God. One of the most fantastic moments ever. God, it was another story, too, that was on my brain about Jackie and another rink. God, I forget what it was. I was going to tell it. It popped into my brain while I was telling this one. As we do this, it appears that Twitch is misbehaving. So if you are enjoying the show on Twitch and the video has done the spinning wheel of death, I'm going to need you to confirm or deny what is happening. If you could give me an update. And as a rule, always update me. Please do. It appears to be coming back now. I know there's something wrong with it because it says that there's 55 people viewing, which is absurd. There's no way that that's actually accurate. It must be like quadrupling. That's what it's doing. There was probably like 12. And then because it's weird, that's what's happening. So I wanted to start with that story about this absolute sheer terror moment and embarrassment with Walt at the rink. And then we parlayed that into a great story of Jacqueline kicking ass with Logan. And then Jacqueline in Jersey. There was another Jersey woman story that I want to tell you. Not everybody in Jersey is like this, by the way. I personally loved my time in Jersey. Pooh Bear, not so much. we had a neighbor across the street in this community of Jackson, New Jersey, who I think she was also mentally, I think she was mentally ill. But you're talking about a 28, 29, 30-year-old woman who, oh my God, she would stay in the house and just have a goddamn conniption over everything that happened in the neighborhood. And one of the things that she got pissed off about was Jacqueline in the street did sidewalk chalk. She did like a hopscotch thing or put some pictures, drew some pictures, whatever, in the street. This lady got so goddamn pissed off about sidewalk chalk in the street, and I responded by giving her the finger. Fuck you. I was made to be in Jersey. Okay? That's a fantastic place to be in. That's why I'm able to kick so much ass here, is people in West Michigan are not nearly as aggressive as Jersey people. Jersey people can't handle me. So when it comes to like how I do with people here, I have to really, it's actually quite good that as I've gotten older, I've mellowed out quite a bit. Because if you had 30-something-year-old EZ in West Michigan, that's a problem. Becca Shea says you grew up near Detroit. So, yeah, you can handle it. 100%. Tyler says you should have drawn an outline of your hand giving the finger on the sidewalk. But then there was the other neighbor next door to this lady. And I'll never forget it. It was a 100 and plus degree day in Jersey. And this lady had a pool. And I actually had the nerve to say, hey, can the kids swim? They had never been in the pool. And my kids played with her kids. Her oldest daughter used to babysit my kids. And I said, hey, so-and-so, you mind if the kids take a dip in the pool today? Would that be okay? Which that's a little forward to ask somebody if you can go in their pool. They had never made it known that that was an option. I mean, Mr. Pop in my neighborhood now, me, I let it be known to all the little boys and the little girls that they can use my pool whenever they want. So the more children that are in my pool, little kids, I'm happy. Now, I know what you're saying. That sounds terrible. And the only reason why it sounds terrible is because you assholes have made it seem like I'm something I'm not. We got to that point because of Pooh Bear. And at the same time, one of the little kids said to me, can we go, he calls me Rich Eric, can we swim in your pool? A kid will ask. I go, absolutely. Just as long as mom and dad are here, you can go swim in the pool. That is it. Your mom and dad have to be here to keep an eye on you because I cannot do it. In fact, you can come and go as you please as long as your mom and dad are here and you lock the gate when you leave because we got a child who's got autism and will wander in. You don't want that. Rich describes it as Rich Eric's Island. Alan has a comment that I'm not even going to read it. This lady's response when I said, hey, do you mind if the kids jump in the pool? She goes, oh, fuck no. And I go, and that gives you no wiggle room. I mean, if you really are, if you don't want the kids in your pool, if you don't want to establish that type of relationship, I actually can appreciate that. You got to go big. And she did. Oh, it wasn't a no. It wasn't a hell no. It was a fuck no. Oh, fuck no. And the thing about it is, it was at the bus stop when it happened. I would walk to the corner, pick up the kids, and her kids get off the bus. My kids get off the bus. She walks across the street. I take Jim and Jack home, or Jim in this case. No, take it back. It was Jim and Jack because it was she had started kindergarten. But to actually, there's kids everywhere. Oh, fuck no. I'm like, Jesus Christ, she kicked my ass. I go, okay. That same bus stop a year prior, this is EZ in New Jersey war stories time, apparently. I'm driving around and I get a phone call from the school principal of Holman Elementary School in Jackson, New Jersey. And I pick it up. Yes, this is so-and-so, so-and-so. Have you talked to your wife? No. Your son is missing. What? Immediately my phone. I'm like, uh-oh. It's Diana on the other line. What? Huh? What's going on? I can't find Jim. Jim's missing. He's gone. He didn't get off the bus. He's gone forever. Oh, my God. So I'm like, what the fuck? What a phone call to get. Your child is missing. Principal of the school. We have video that shows Jim getting on the bus. He may have gotten off at a wrong stop. We don't know. We cannot locate him right now. He was found, but for 1 hour in time, he was missing. We didn't know where the fuck he was. Imagine that nightmare. The bus driver knows this. He's been radioed. Did you see Jim Zaitunian? No. Everybody's freaking. All the teachers are canvassing all the stops. All the parents are running around. That lady across the street. I don't want to help. Fuck him. The bus driver takes the bus back to where they keep all the buses. And he does a thing every time to make sure that the kids haven't left anything behind. And he goes walking through the bus. And there's Jim. He goes, Jim? Yeah. Jim's so little. First of all, the bus driver couldn't see him until he was like right next to the seat. He's so little that he couldn't see out the window his bus stop. And I don't know, maybe he was a little thick-skulled, but he did not get off at his stop. So mom's there and no Jim. Pooh Bear freaks out, and then the shit hits the fan. So the bus driver goes, oh, my God. It was so scary. So radio's back. Phone call goes out to Pooh Bear. She goes back and gets him. It was wild. Absolutely bizarre. I need to ask these children if they remember these moments. Megan says he had no clue, so that's good. I wonder if he remembers that. Bread Bull Brain Chris says they have to do a physical check before parking the bus now. Yeah, I'm guessing that's what it was. Alan says call Jim. I would, but he is in Florida painting some rich guy's house. He paints homes, and his boss has a job contracted to do for a guy from Michigan who's got a ton of money, and he's got this massive mansion, and Jim's boss got the bid, and so they had to all fly to Florida. I go, why doesn't the guy who owns a house just hire people from Florida? Now, according to Jim, he says that there is a real issue with quality, according to what the homeowner has said when it comes to that type of work. And he knows this guy Doyle that owns a painting company. So he trusts Doyle to do a good job. That's what's happening. All right. I have an absolute anchor on my brain right now. You may not know it because, frankly, I've been outstanding today with storytelling. But my brain is not right. And I've walled it off for here. I've told myself I'm never going to get emotional in the podcast anymore. I've done that a few times, but I'm not going to. Benny is with us, but he is struggling, and I'm concerned. So he is going to the vet today to get a checkup. He did not eat yesterday, and his energy is low. So I reached out and I go, what do you think? Yeah, you better bring him in. You want to have a look. But stop giving him the, what do they call the drugs when you have a UTI? Antibiotics. Stop giving him the antibiotics because that can affect the appetite. Okay, stop doing that. He's not moving that great. Yeah, I think he's got to go potty. I'm not sure. I mean, when he was eating, all he was eating was chicken. So I don't know if it was just the amount of protein. That's all he had really was protein sources of food for a couple of days. I'm wondering if that has affected him. Or is this something that is so much more, bad? So Bruce has an appointment too. So I'm taking 2 dogs to the vet. Bruce for routine, big vet type of appointment. Benny is going to be. They're gonna assess him. And I don't know how this works. I mean, I know how it works, but the last thing I want though is information that he's not going to make it, which I guess that could happen. If we get to that point, then yeah, I don't like to talk about it, but I'm paid to talk about it, so I'm going to talk about it. Brad Bulbrain Chris says, yeah, all that protein, he might be all bound up. Hopefully it's something simple like that. That's what I'm hoping for. He is drinking water. He does go outside to pee. Megan says we can pay you to not talk about it. No, I actually like talking about it. I think it's important. I mean, and frankly, I have gotten this far, 56 years, by, this is what I do. Lots of protein and antibiotics will get you constipated, and I'll throw that out there. Say, so what do you think about this? Is this a possibility? But right now he's comfortable. He just hasn't eaten a day and a half. So that's not great. We'll get to the bottom of it. I did, though, reach out to everybody. I reached out to every family member in this little organization that we have called the Easy Show Podcast Family. And that would be Jim, Jack, Maddie. Actually, I reached out to Jim's wife, my daughter-in-law, Aubrey. Talk to her. She's a good sounding board for this. But yeah, I kind of said this could happen. So, and I said this is what could be the case where if I go there and it's terrible news, he then comes home and then we just simply say goodbye and then the next step, which I've gotten I take a great pride if we do get to that point of how this works, I always hold my dogs. So the disaster was with fucking Daisy. That was a rough one because she was struggling and I took the dog to the vet because she was doing so poorly. And then it happened very suddenly to her. And then while she was there, her heart stopped. Oh my God, it was terrible. So quickly, Jackie rushed over. They were able to revive her, but then did I say Darla? I meant Daisy. Daisy went to the Rainbow Bridge that way. That was awful. I've been through it a lot. There's been a lot of ups and downs throughout the years with a number of pets, but that's what I signed up for. That's what, and I'm the guy for the job. It's just that idea when you have that gut feeling. And then, I'm trying to not listen to it right now. I'm trying to say, like, dismiss it and say, no, it's wrong. You're gonna be wrong, and the dog's gonna be fine. But it's screaming at me. Hell, I had that feeling with Lucy. You don't know Lucy. I don't think so. You got to be a real long-time listener to remember Lucy. Lucy was the one that when she died at home, I went to pick her up, and she growled because the air in her lungs moved through, and she went, "Rrr." She'd been dead for like an hour, and I moved her. Brrr, like, what the fuck? But so Lucy died at home. Daisy died at the vet. Cat Fencer and or Kitty, he had different names. Buddy Bobcat Faced. Yeah, all those. I was there for all those. And it's just a fiasco. It's just painful, man. And when it comes to this vet, I've seen it so many times where I show up like to get the dog treated, whatever dog treated. And there's someone in the parking lot and it's going down. You can see somebody in the parking lot. There's something bad. You can tell something bad is happening. Then you go in and the candle's lit. If the candle's lit, it's fucked up. That means somebody is in the Rainbow Bridge room, you know? Maureen says, I blubber like an idiot every time, but you must be there for them. Thank you, Maureen. I appreciate that. David remembers the story about Lucy. Megan says, what did you say when Lucy gave you an after-death scare? I fucking yelled. What the? Then I laughed. Alan says, I hate those fucking candles, dude. Every time I walk in, I look at the candle, see if it's lit. I go, oh, thank God it's not lit. Or, oh, God, it's lit. Stevie says, we used Heaven at Home when it was time for her dog, Jade. Yeah. God damn it. All right, so that's on my brain today. I'm trying. I really am. What the hell was I going to say? I'm kind of like, my brain is now kind of cooked, going in like several directions. All right. See if I can focus here. Let's move on to some more uplifting news. Savannah Guthrie's still looking for her mom. This is unbelievable. What the hell has happened here? This is the moment. Savannah Guthrie, this is her brother and her sister. And I think they're talking to kidnappers? They're speaking directly to kidnappers?
On behalf of our family, we want to thank all of you for the prayers for our beloved mom, Nancy. We feel them, and we continue to believe that she feels them too. Our mom is a kind, faithful, loyal, fiercely loving woman of goodness and light. She's funny, spunky, and clever. She has grandchildren that adore her and crowd around her and cover her with kisses. She loves fun and adventure. She is a devoted friend. She is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
The light is missing from our lives. Nancy is our mother. We are her children. She is our beacon. She holds fast to joy in all of life's circumstances. She chooses joy day after day, despite having already passed through great trials of pain and grief. We are always going to be merely human. Just normal human people who need our mom. Mama, if you're listening, we need you to come home. We miss you.
Our mom is our heart and our home. She is 84 years old. Her health, her heart is fragile. She lives in constant pain. She is without any medicine. She needs it to survive. She needs it not to suffer. We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter in the media. As a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated.
Yeah.
We need to know,
That's a good point.
without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Please reach out to us. Mommy, if you are hearing this, you are a strong woman. You are God's precious daughter, Nancy. We believe and know that even in this valley, He is with you. Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere. We will not rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again. We speak to you every moment, and we pray without ceasing, and we rejoice in advance for the day that we hold you in our arms again. We love you, Mom.
Love you, Mom.
We love you, Mom. Stay strong.
We love you, Mom. We love you.
All right, so that's it. Yeah. Brother didn't say too much. Maybe that's not his strength. Fuck. Alan says, I had the same reaction to her saying mommy as I did when Fernando Mendoza said it. Well, that's absurd, you dummy. Where the hell are my glasses? Shit. An Arizona news anchor who saw the possible Nancy Guthrie ransom note. Why are they still saying possible ransom note? I guess they haven't confirmed whether it's real. I don't know. She said it came in via email, and it was clear after a couple of sentences that it might not be a hoax. So isn't there a way to search... like if an email comes in, you can determine where it came from if you have various bits of software, various software programs that can determine an IP address. And can't that help you narrow it down to some degree? I'm sure that they've already looked into that. A lot of it is information that only someone who is holding her for ransom would know, said Mary Coleman, anchor for Arizona-based CNN affiliate KOLD 13 News, Cold 13 News. Some very sensitive information and things that people who weren't there when she was taken captive wouldn't know. It also included a dollar amount, a deadline, and again, other specifics that only Guthrie's abductor might know. So that definitely raised some red flags. Coleman said, adding that it was clear immediately that it might not be a sick prank. So I think it's interesting that they're saying, yeah, we're ready to talk, reach out. Well, didn't they already? One of the detectives did get back to us and asked us for some more information so that they can start, there you go, searching for an IP address and things of that nature to try and figure out who or what people are responsible here. If it isn't known if the note sent to the TV news station is the same one that was sent to TMZ. That one, sent on Tuesday, reportedly asked for millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin for Nancy's safe return. Pacemaker. Requires daily life-saving medication. Last seen at around 9:45 p.m. Saturday. She was dropped off at her home by her daughter, Annie. I guess that was her. And her son-in-law, Tommaso Ciani. When she failed to show up at church Sunday morning, a concerned fellow worshiper alerted the family, who called the cops. Oh, boy. The son is Cameron. Runner girl Amy says, first Benny, now this. Maureen says, very, very sad. Who does that to an elderly woman? If it turns out to be a family member, that person is despicable. Well, they're all despicable, truly. But you're right, at a different level if it's a family member, and I don't know that it is. We speculated about that yesterday. Tyler says to Amy, I was just thinking Linda is probably rubbing her hands together in excitement over this mystery. Oh, yeah. 100%. All these twists and turns in 8 months. She's going to be watching the documentary on Court TV. Numerous young guys from the college, from the university at the front door saying, hey, is it my turn? She's like, hang on. I'm watching this Court TV thing. Screw you. Tyler says plane ride booked to take selfies outside of her house. Oh, yeah. And I that's steeped in truth, by the way. Linda sent me photographs of when she went to the home that Nicole Brown was murdered in, or outside of, and she set up a tripod with a camera and was taking pictures of herself smiling in front of the house, pools of blood, not even dry yet, police tape everywhere. She's waving at the camera. Let's see. The OJ pic was not a selfie. My friend took it. Yeah, your friend was a tripod and a timer. All right, that whole thing is just an absolute disaster. Red Bull Brain Chris said she had dinner at the last place Nicole ate. Yeah, she went to Mezzaluna. She took the pictures, and then Linda walks in to Mezzaluna, and she says, yes, can I get the table that Nicole Brown Simpson was at a night and a half ago, 2 days ago? I would like to sit there. And then they come back, and she's sniffing the seat. She's actually sniffing the seat that Nicole Brown Simpson sat in for that meal. Awful. She made the waiter at Mezzaluna dress up like Ronald Goldman. Was that his name, Ron? Yeah, Ron. Not only that, she ordered the same meal that Nicole said. Now, that's Linda's own sister saying that. Linda says, I didn't think to ask for her table, damn it, but they had a big group. There were two of us. Linda joins us from the road because lately she decided to take a trek on the same route from the murder scene in Idaho to the home of Brian Koberger. So she's turn by turn following the exact route that Brian Koberger took after he committed that crime when he killed like half of the university. Didn't he go through dorm to dorm and kill everybody or something like that? Linda loved that story. That was her favorite thing. A murder lover, Linda, says, I'm not telling you any more of my escapades to Maureen. I got pictures she sent me pictures of some row house in like Boston. And I'm like, what is this? And what was the name of that documentary you made me watch that nobody watched? Who killed Ronald Wu, or who killed Jimmy Chu? Who killed Jimmy Chu? Jimmy Chu got killed in some house she goes to where the guy got killed and took pictures of it. What was the guy's name again? Robert Wone. Okay, Robert Wone. I thought it was Jimmy Chu. The Robert Wone murder house in D.C. Tyler says, I can't help but feel slightly responsible for this beat up. Maureen says Jimmy Chu is shoes. Bread Bowl Brain Chris says the Coburger Trail. That's exactly what it was. Anyway, that's all true. I want to also update you. I talked to you. I think I have to change the eating habits. I got into a little bit of detail that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I did this super long fast. And yesterday I was in the middle of it. And I ended up getting to 24 hours of fasting. And then when the fasting window closes, or I'm done fasting, and then I eat, I don't think it's a good idea to then pack on the calories as quickly as possible, because this is what happened. I get ravished. I ran into the house and I grabbed one of those Jimmy Dean croissant sausage sandwiches that the NFK likes. And I cut into it so fast with the scissors that I almost cut my fucking finger off. All right, that is Act 1 of the podcast. Act 2 is available right after this one. Go check it out. What are you doing? Don't miss a second of it. Thank you so much.